What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Smart Talk, where we'll talk about real struggles, real stories, and entrepreneurs that came from the ground up. Today, I got my homegirl, Jazzy, in the building.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm Giselle. I tell everyone to call me Jazzy though. It's like more cordial. I like that.
I like
better.
Jazzy. It's a cool name.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like not like JazellRose. Like my mom gave me a really interesting name. That's my actual middle name.
Why did she give you that name?
She named me after Giselle Bundchen, the model. She
Really?
said my baby's gonna be a model one day, and she just spelt it phonetically, so it's actually Jazell, like Jazzle.
Uh-huh.
But if people call me that, I get a little mad, so I just say Jazzy.
Oh, shit,
Jazzy.
that's crazy. It's a cool little story how your mom named you. But, I know you're a big-time model, and, you've done a lot for your life at such a young age. I want everyone kind of get to know a little bit more about yourself, so introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I started modeling when I was 18, but I've always been really like in the arts as a little kid. When I was little, I used to do ballet for like the longest time up until I was like 8 years old as a little girl. So I always like being in the spotlight. I am a Leo, so I think it comes with it, but I am a recluse.
Here we go with the signs.
What?
Oh my
You don't
God.
believe in that?
No.
What's your birthday?
August 26th?
Yeah, I don't know that much, so I don't know. I don't know that much. But I believe in all of it. I just feel like I am like extroverted in a sense. In a sense. I'm a July Leo though. I'm not an August Leo. So I'm not as bold as someone maybe in August might be. But yeah, so as a kid, I've just always really liked the spotlight and started doing that. My mom put me in a cookie commercial when I was a little girl. So I liked being on the screen and I wanted to start modeling. And then my teen years, kind of in high school, I moved around a lot. I went into foster care when I was 12. So that kind of changed things up.
Why did you go into foster care?
My mommy is just quite an interesting person. I love her to death, but she was a single mom with 3 kids, so I feel like it wears down on you to a point. And she dabbled in some things and got into club culture really hard and had some substance issues that we had to deal with in the family. So it turned into other issues, and me and her had some issues. I actually was the reason she got locked up when I was 12 years old. I told the school counselor that she was abusing me because she pushed me out of a car. So it was kind of obvious at that point. They took us away for a little bit, gave us back. She did it again, and then we went back for like, I don't even know. We stayed in foster care for like 3 to 4 months, me and my brother. And they kept us together because we were siblings. But he was autistic a little bit and had behavioral issues. So we didn't get placed for a very long time. And I think once we got placed into a facility that would take both of us, which is called a group home, we were there for maybe like 2 years, I think. So it wasn't too long in the system. And our mom was still there. It was just in a different way because she was dealing with charges from me now. So me and her had a really hard relationship growing up once it was the teen years, definitely.
So how did it feel being in and out of like a foster care home?
Okay, wait. So when I say things, I feel like I contradict because I say like it was fun and people are like, what the fuck do you mean? Like it was fun, like that should be traumatic. But let me not stumble. Wait, okay, maybe I'm nervous. What I was going through at home was traumatic enough. So I felt like once I got out, I wasn't worried about someone beating me if I didn't clean the house, if I didn't have the right clothes picked out, if I didn't grind her special stuff enough. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to worry about that if my siblings were getting to school in the right time. Like someone was taking care of us. For the first time in my life, I didn't have to worry about anything. And we got outings. They would take us out. If you were a good kid, they'd take you out. You could earn getting your nails done. You could earn Jordans. I was in Las Vegas, Nevada when I was in foster care. The casinos fund everything. Everything. I believe once you get placed into a foster facility, you get like $800 a month from the kids or more than that. But I know when I was in like St. Jude's, they would give the kids like to $500 a month, depending on if they had kids or not and stuff like that.
So this is way better than being at home with mom.
Yeah, like I was like, this is great. But my little brother, he's a year and 8 months younger than me. he had a really hard time in foster care. So I ended up saying we want to go back to mom. And we went back for like a good 6 months before things went bad. She has schizophrenia and she's bipolar and she mixes that with substances. So sometimes, like, I don't blame her. Like, I mean, life happens, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, life happens.
So, do you and your mom have a good relationship, or it's kind of just dead?
Um,
You smirked at me when I asked that question.
yeah, that's a fun one. I haven't talked to her in like a year and 8 months. That's actually really. Let me not cry right now, cause I am a mama's girl. I love her so much, but we have not talked. We had a falling out, and I think it's better for me to love her from a distance because,
Do you miss her?
yeah, like that's your mom. How do you not miss the person that gave you the gave you who you are today? Like, even modeling, like, she wanted all of this for me, and I haven't been able to share anything with her. My first magazine cover, actually, I shared my first magazine cover with her, and she cussed me out.
Why?
Our falling out was bad. She feels like I betrayed her because I chose myself first, and yeah, I think she was just mad, just mad. She's really bitter sometimes, but I pray for her. I pray for her.
Why did your mom feel like you betrayed her?
I feel like that is a very long story that I don't care to explain right now. Like, I would love to talk about it, but I want to write a book one day. Like, I went through so much crazy stuff that I would love to just talk about it all in a book. But as far as today, I don't know if I've dealt with it enough to even open up about it. It's still really fresh, but I just feel like the basis of it was me choosing myself and not to deal with it. I have my own life now, and dealing with some of her issues, I just can't be responsible for. Like, my mom has I don't know, I have 10 siblings. My mom has like 7 different kids. She has a bunch of different baby daddies. I keep track of them and keep track of all the siblings and all this stuff. It's like too much sometimes. So putting her into it, it's just like, ugh. And she's really negative. She'll be the type of person to like see someone on the ground and already kick them. It's not good to have someone in your life telling you to do bad things when you're trying to be a good person. Like, I was taught to not be who I am today. And so I fight everything in my power to like be a good person, you know what I mean? But having her in my ear, it was like, oh, just do these bad things. Like, if I had a significant other, it's like, oh, just go cheat on him. Just go cheat on him because it's not that bad. You know what I mean? In her head. But like, that's horrible in my head. That shouldn't, yeah. She's just bad influence.
Hmm.
It's safer to me to
Mhm.
just be away from all that.
Mhm. Yeah. So back to you being a foster kid. I mean, I've met a lot of people on this podcast. Whenever they've been through foster homes, it's like a nightmare in there. Like, they get mistreated.
That comes with it.
Like, it's overflown with kids that, are over capacity with kids. The meals aren't so great. How did you get such a great experience?
Okay, I feel like I'm not pessimistic, though. I feel like I look on the good side of things. Because, like, things in the foster care situation definitely happened to me that, like, yeah. No person deserves to go through that. No person deserves to go through that. But those things were already happening at home. So it was like, you win some, you lose some. And, I mean, not everything was sunshine and rainbows. I have a lot of repressed trauma, and so all I remember is certain details, honestly, which was the good things. And the food did suck. It sucked ass. Like, the food was so bad, and you had to fight for cheese sticks. It got real ghetto at nighttime when we were fighting for Doritos and cheese sticks. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Mm-mm. But I feel like you just, like, learn to roll with it. I feel like it's annoying because you can't have money, you can't build a life for yourself kind of outside of that. Kind of, like, leaves you to be like homeless when you get out and stuff like that. Like, they have situations where they help you out, but it just always depends. And I feel like I was blessed to be in Nevada's foster care system because it's bad, but I had a sibling, so I was in Child Haven the whole time. I wasn't in random placements with random people. That's bad. Like, those are horror stories because in Nevada, I think Nevada and some other states are one of the only few states where you collect money for when you put someone into the system, like a child into the system. So because of that, instead of actually taking on cases where kids are actually being abused because it's a lot of paperwork, they'll take on easier cases in Nevada. So I feel like it just it's an interesting one there. They like kind of tend to what you want in there, so that you don't say anything bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're already used to seeing bad things. You go out to the streets, like they're gonna sell you. You're in Vegas. Prostitution is the biggest thing. So like,
Yeah, sex sells.
yeah. So I like what's happening in the foster care homes. It's like, okay, maybe that's once every few days. Like it's not as bad as if I were on the streets. It's a weird one. And then I mean, like there's a lot of kids, so there might be overcrowding and stuff like that, like you said. But sometimes there's no kids at all in Child Haven. It just really depends on the season. Like during the summer, yeah, there's a lot of kids.
So were you in foster care throughout your whole high school?
High school was a weird one. So I need some water. I'm like all dry. But when I was, I think, a freshman, my dad came back into my life. And so like my dad, he left when I was 4 years old. Kind of went, got the milk, didn't come. I'm just playing. Oh my God, I hope my dad doesn't see this. I love you, Dad. I'm so sorry. I love you so much, Dad. Love you so much. You did do that. You did do that, though. You could have took it. Yeah, he could have taken me and JV. Okay, wait, can we blurt my brother's name out?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He doesn't like me right now. He could have taken us. But, so, he came back when I was in high school. So I think, like, I was 14 years old. And then when we went back with my mom, when I made the choice to go back with her because my brother was having issues in foster care, he had a horrible story. He got abused in foster care because he was a little nonverbal. He had a speech impediment, so we had an issue where a staff member sat on him. Mind you, this staff member was like 400 pounds, like big. And he sat on my little brother because my little brother wouldn't conform. And that was the only way that grown man could make my little brother, a little 6-7-year-old boy, conform, was sitting on him, full weight. Ugh. So after that, I was like, okay, let's get out. I was like, I don't want to go back with Mom because the thing is, my brother didn't get hit all the time. I was the one that took it. So it was like me going back. It was like, I don't want to go back, but for you, you're taken care of. You're safe there. Anything for you. So.
Yeah, you get the shit in the stick.
Yeah, but I would take it any day for any of my siblings. Any day. Like any day. They don't, any day. I love my siblings so much. Any kid, honestly. I love kids. Like, they're innocent. They don't deserve that. So in high school, though, my dad came around freshman year. It was Boulder City High School. That was foster care. I was at St. Jude's. That was foster care. That was crazy as fuck. Boulder City is a Mormon, predominantly, like, one-raced city. So when there's, like, foster kids, it's all, like, multicultural. It's like a zoo when you go into there. It's like you come on one bus from foster care. It's like a zoo. High school's like a zoo. But my dad came back when I think I was a sophomore. So we moved in with him because I went back to my mom after the incident with that person sitting on my brother, and my brother wanted to leave and all that stuff. So I think that was, like, starting of sophomore year, maybe the end of freshman year. I don't really I think it was before freshman. It was before sophomore year. Anyways, sorry. So we went with my dad when my mom had another schizophrenic break. And my mom was, like, going crazy. She was cutting people's cables, like their TV cables, and she was on top of the roof in the apartment complex. And, like, everyone was like, girl, your mama's tripping. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? She thinks people are listening to us in the walls. Like, my mom destroyed our whole house. And I told her, I was like, girl, one thing you will not touch is my bedroom. She took a sledgehammer and, like, destroyed things in my bedroom, like the walls, because she said people were watching us. And, like, she's like, well, you're getting dressed. People are watching you, Jazell. And I'm like, what in the world? I came back to your house. You said you weren't going to be crazy.
She sounds like she's sick in the head. Like,
she is.
Why didn't you guys take her to, like, a mental hospital or something?
What is a 12-year-old supposed to do?
Oh, you're 12 at that time.
Like, I was, like, 12 when the issues first started. And then at that point when I came back, I was, like, 14. And at this point, I'm tired of her. Like, when she gets like that, she used to put hands on me, and she knew not to do that anymore. So at that point, I was like, yeah, I want my mom to get help, but my mom's been going to therapy and medication forever. It's not my fault that she snorts too much of her medication. Like, she chooses to be like that sometimes. ooh, I don't mean to expose her like that, bless her soul, but she just chose to do so much. Sometimes I was like, these are actions of your consequences. Sometimes, like, unfortunately, we were the ones that got the repercussions, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they did try to administer to her. Wait, I think they did try to check her into a mental hospital. But I don't know. I just called the cops. So at that point, it's like, what are the police going to do? Are they going to take someone to a psych facility because they think they need help? Or are they going to book them and get that extra person off their list that they booked for that year? You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do? And they knew my mom's name. They knew her by the name. They were like, oh, she's just going crazy again. Like, I mean, I don't... The mental health facilities are kind of worse than the jails because they'll do crazy things to you there. Like, yeah, no. I would rather her be in jail than a mental facility, I think. Because when she went to jail for like 9 months, and she was doing really good. She was sober. She was doing great. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she does need help, but I don't think she'll get it. It's her choice. You know what I mean? Like, no one can force her.
Yeah.
So, I pray that she gets help one day so maybe we can have a relationship. I go to therapy. I think everyone should go to therapy. But I don't know. High school was definitely weird because of it, though. But Dad came back, and he was great. He was horrible, but he's great now. So we give him props for learning with me.
So after you graduated high school, what was your career trajectory after that?
I didn't graduate high school.
You dropped out?
Yes, I'm a dropout.
Why? Why'd you drop out?
I had to pay bills. My siblings, like, I wanted them to have an education. So my other little brother was in school, and there were times where we didn't have money to get school clothes. We didn't have money to get notebooks. When my dad came and got us, my dad tried the best he could probably, but he could not afford 2 teenage kids. On his salary, my dad was an EMT, and EMTs do not make much. He was working down in Pecos, and I was in Santa Fe High School. And he was making like $10 an hour for being an EMT, like a first responder. That's how much they were paying them, like $10, $12 an hour. So coming back to feed a family, like, you don't have much. So I started working and realizing I'd rather take care of my family than go to school because school's not paying me for my time. So I started hustling. I dropped out like during COVID. There was no point either way too, because I moved right before the finals. My dad like moved me, I think it was sophomore, junior year, right before the finals. And I was like, well, fuck, like, I can't even take my finals. Like, I'm not even going to graduate either way if I can't do this. So just drop out and start working. And that's what I did. I just dropped out. We were staying in a small town called Dixon. I was going to Espanola High School at this point. I moved high schools a lot. And I was just like, fuck it. Like, I don't have to turn the Chromebook on. Like, I don't have to. And I didn't. I got depressed too, so I think for like a solid year, I just like sat in a room. Like, it was crazy. Like, I went through like a few different things. My ex passed away, and I was just like, man, I'm just gonna rot away. And then I decided to just move out and get a job because we moved across the country to South Carolina with my dad. So we moved all the way to Myrtle Beach. And by then I was like, I'm definitely not going to school. I was like 16, about to turn 17. I started working at this place called Mr. Fish. I wish the restaurant was still open, down in Myrtle Beach on Kings Highway. And that's where I got my first car from, my first apartment. I moved out when I was 17 years old.
Were you cashier or you were a hostess? Or?
I was a hostess.
And they were just paying you good money?
For Myrtle Beach. So they're at minimum wage still, federal minimum wage at Myrtle Beach, which, I mean, don't quote me. I don't know for sure, but I know it's like $7. I think it's like $7.75 federally. And so to get paid, I think I was getting paid like $10.15 an hour, and I was like 16 years old. I was like, fuck yeah. Like, my mom's first job, she told me it was like $6 an hour. And mind you, she's older than me, of course, but I was excited. I was stoked. So I worked like 60 hours a week. I had a bad relationship with my dad at home. He was unstable. He should have never moved to Myrtle Beach. I don't know why he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Dad. But
I mean, at least, I mean, obviously, wasn't the nicest thing for him, kind of just leave out all those years of your life. But most dads never come back in their kids' lives.
Yeah, my mom's dad never came. Well, he did, like 34 years later. Yeah. I am grateful that he came back. I'm so grateful that he came back. I'm grateful that he still is someone that I can talk to. Definitely. I love my dad. He's a good guy, I guess. Not a good boyfriend. Oh my Lord. Whew. Whew. His little 3 different girls. Let me know. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. I don't know how many girlfriends he had. I mean, he only probably has one. I don't know. But that is crazy. That is violent. I'm happy he came back. He just exposed me to a lot. Like, he has his tongue split in half. My dad's a weirdo. He has both sides pierced. Very gross. Very gross. He used to be like a go-go dancer. My dad, tell me why. I have pictures of my dad in a golden G-string at TD's.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever we drop the podcast, we can add it to the snippet if you want.
No. My dad would kill me because I think he had like cornrows in it.
That's crazy.
He's not African American. My mom is African American. He is not. Oh my God, that man. Bless his soul, he's a personality. That's where I get mine from. So he exposed me to a lot. He thought it was cool that he had teenagers. He was like da-da-da-da, saying all this crazy stuff. He's like, yeah, me, your stepmom, da-da-da on the table last night. I'm like, what? So he kind of created a monster now. Like, I have like a horrible like censorship that I have to put on myself when I talk to people.
Wow.
It's horrible. He's a funny guy, though. He's really funny. He's just like a 5'7" little thing, though. Sorry, Dad. No, he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot on a good day. Just like me. I'm 6 foot on a good day.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So whenever you're at Myrtle Beach, you're working, making good money, got your apartment, got your car. What were you doing after that? You just kept working that same job, or?
No. So, ooh, Lord, have mercy. Don't cancel me. Look, I had to do what I had to do. I had sugar daddies from a long point in life. That was them. That was the men. Because I look back now and I'm like, I didn't even look older. That's kind of crazy. But so we would close down. In Myrtle Beach, you have an on and off season. And I think in every big city you have an on and off season. But for the beach, you're only on when college students are out or when the tourists are there. So summer, great money, right? November, December, January, February, no one's coming into town. They're all with their family members. You're not making money. Our restaurant closes down for like 3 months. So you're without a paycheck for 3 months. I'm a 17-year-old barely working off a minute. I'm like, I had my ex-boyfriend helping me. We lived together because I was in a relationship for like 4 long years of my life. And he worked at like a Dollar General, and they were paying like $13 an hour. That was the highest paying job in like Myrtle Beach if you didn't have a degree, which is crazy. Like, the EMTs were making like $10 to $11, and Dollar General people were making like $13, $14 an hour. That's crazy to me. So during the off season, I started working at this place called Yankee Candle. If you've ever heard of like that candle making place in the mall, it's an older place. They offered me $8.25 an hour when I came into the room. Mind you, I was only 17 years old. So, like, what do I really expect? Because I was still a little kid, so any other 17-year-old. But I had work experience since 12 years old. I've been working since 12 years old. So it's like, goddamn, like, come on, like, help me out. I was a manager. Like, Mr. Fish would let me say I was a manager and stuff for interviews. I wasn't necessarily a manager. I mean, when no one else showed up for work, I was in charge. But, so they would let me say I was a manager on my role. So I really expected more money, but they said $8.25, and I was like, I can't do that. And they called me back with $8.75. I think that's the lowest paid I've ever been paid hourly. But I worked for that. I could not pay my condo with that. It was $770 a month, and it was like beachfront. Oh, so sorry. Oopsies. It was beachfront. Like, it was gorgeous, but it was like a studio. It was like a hotel rental thing, but it was the only thing that like I could rent from being like that young. It was like cash. They didn't really ask where it came from. Mm-hmm. So like I just gave them cash, $770 a month. Easy, right? No, I couldn't even make that with that salary. So that's when I kind of got into like sugar daddies a little more. And then they were paying for that, and like and then I couldn't do that though. Then something happened, and then I couldn't do that, and so then I moved across the country because anytime something bad happens in my life, I just move across the country. So, yeah, that was an interesting walk of life, I guess. And then after I moved to Nevada with my mom, and she had an apartment, and I started renting that apartment from her. And so I had an apartment like right on a main street in Vegas. Like I could walk to I forget what it's called, Planet Hollywood, something weird in Vegas. But I was right in front of the Piranha Gay Club, which is so funny. My dad used to party there too. Like my dad's like, dude, I used to party at that gay club. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like there's something wrong with you. Ooh, let me not touch the mic. But yeah, so I lived there and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool living in Vegas, but ooh, never again. That place is soulless. I would go out in Vegas thinking like, oh, like I'm 17 years old, like I can do whatever I want. I thought I was grown. I was wearing hoochie mama clothes. Lord have mercy on my soul. The amount of issues I got into with my best friend, like guns pulled out, like just crazy people trying to kidnap, but like streets of Vegas, man. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love the streets of Vegas. Streets of Vegas, they're just like great. Yeah, they're great. I think the last time when I realized I wanted to move out, there's some guys trying to like drag me and my girlfriend back into their hotel room, and they were like 30 years old and we're like 17 years old, and we're like, ew, we're 14, like get away from us. We weren't 14, but we're like, ew. And they were not letting us go. And so like these other guys come up and they're like, are you guys okay? And I'm like, no, they're trying to like, well, I said some crazy stuff. But they were probably trying to do that once they got to the hotel room. And so I said that, and the guys were like, they just started beating them up. And the next thing you know, me and my homegirl are walking away. We hear gunshots from that crowd. And I always had a gun on me. My mommy gave me a gun. And if I was at least going to be out doing whatever I was doing, oh my God, in the streets of Vegas as a 17-year-old, I was doing nothing crazy. I just like was out there trying to see if I could like get into a club that I would never get into being a 17-year-old. You know what I mean? And then ending up at Denny's trying to get drinks from the bartenders there. And that guy, he told me, he's like, let me see your elbow. And I was like, what do you mean, let me see your elbow? And he's like, I can tell how old you are from your elbow. And I let him see my elbow. He goes, nah, you aren't 21. Guy, if we're looking at this, does my elbow look 21 now? Because honest to God, I'm 21 now, and I can get a shot from that Denny's now. But it was crazy. And then there was Jesus on the strip. Jesus was cool. He was in a Jesus costume. And, like, when I was a kid, I was like, where can I get, like, bad things from that kids should not be doing? Because now my brain cells don't work properly, and I really wish I didn't do all that stuff sometimes. But I was, like, asking for things of, like, ask Jesus. And I'm like, what do you mean, ask Jesus? And they're like, there's a guy with a beard in a Jesus costume on the strip, and he knows everything, and you can get everything from him. And that was life in Vegas. That was life in Vegas in this strip. And then I had a falling out with my mom again. And in the falling out with my mom, I moved from Vegas. So we got into a big fight at that point. She threw my cat, bro. That was not okay. Mm-hmm. And I moved to Arizona with my grandma. I love my grandma so much. And I was modeling a little bit in Vegas around that time, but it was like more freelance. Like people were like, just come and we'll take photos of you. You're pretty. Like I used to look crazy as a teenager. I thought I was like in cyberpunk, and I would like wear like colorful things and like have crazy braids, so people would just ask to take pictures of me. So like that's kind of how I started kind of getting into it a little bit. And then as I got into Arizona is big in modeling, and I didn't realize that. That's where I get most of my work out of still to this day. I love me some AZ. And I moved there with my grandma. She lives up on Surprise. And I was like 17. This was the end of 17 when I moved to Surprise. And I moved to Arizona, and I worked at a bikini barista place. So I was in a bikini serving coffee, freshly 18. I like worked at a retirement home in between that time. And that was great. And then when I turned 18, I worked as a bikini barista. Like as soon as I turned 18, I was like, I'm going to get my money. Like, let's do it. Because everyone at the retirement home was telling me, like, these older people were like, sweetie, your body's so pretty. You could make so much money off of it. And there was this older woman that was a stripper. She taught me how to put eyelashes on at the retirement home. She taught me how to do my makeup. And she told me that I should be a stripper, which I didn't do that. I did start working at that bikini place, though, and she was so excited. She came and visited me. She was so excited for me. She was so proud. I was like, oh, my gosh. She's like, your booty looks so good. And I'm like, oh, my God. So that was fun. And then a lot of people come to Bikini Beans in Arizona. Like, that's a big establishment in Arizona. And so a lot of people started coming through, and they're like, you should start modeling. Like, I'll pay you to be in a bikini, and you can start modeling. And then I was looking on Facebook, looking, like, at the Facebook groups for modeling and seeing where I can join in. And I saw an ad for a mentorship program for 3 months. And that's how I met my mentor, Casper. Love him. I appreciate him so much. He kind of was like, dude, like, you can really do this in the modeling industry. Like, you're freshly 18. Like, let's do it. And I was like, my mom told me I was going to be a model, so I guess we'll try. Like, I like money, and I like the idea of doing this. Like, this seems so cool. So we started going out and shooting. And the first photo shoot he had me do was in front of Westgate. Do you know what Westgate is?
Yeah.
Yeah. In front of the fountains. It was my, like, first ever photo shoot. And I was like, oh, like, we can't do, like, a studio? Like, private? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to pose. Like, those photos are so bad. They're still on my Instagram because they're part of the plot. They're part of the story. But they're so bad. I was sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm like, he's like, do something with your hands. I'm like, I was like, I don't know what to do right now. And, like, they're in front of, like, a bunch of people are there, and they're staring at me like a complete weirdo. And I'm just like, I am a weirdo. Like, I don't know what's going on. And then the next few ones were good. We went to Scorpion Gulch out there in Arizona, where a lot of models like to shoot at, and we shot some really pretty photos. And we did a lot of work together, and it got me comfortable. He taught me triangles, triangles, triangles. As a model, you should always have a triangle in your form, a bunch of triangles, and delicate and tiptoes, and just to be more aware. It really got me comfortable with the camera. I started booking work during that. I think I had a photo shoot like the same week I did the first one with him, which is I think that might have been my actual first photo shoot. I don't think those images are available. I don't think they will be available. I don't think I'll ever. She put me in some pinup stuff, and she explained contracts to me, though, which I'm very heavy on as a model. I have a lot of contracts that go on because you can never be too safe as a model, especially with your name. And I run everything like a business, so I kind of like to keep that organized. So she explained that to me, which was nice, but it was interesting at the beginning. And then he told me I should set rates. He was like, you can start at $75 an hour. And I was like, is that what, like, young models do? And he's like, yeah, when you start off, that's, like, the proper investment, like $75 an hour for casual wear. He's like, now if someone wants you in skimpier clothing, he's like, you can pick how much you want to charge. He's like, I would say, like, maybe 90 since you're starting off and you're younger. He's like, but it's your body, so, like, at the end of the day, it's your choice how much you're gonna, you know, offer that up for. So I started with, like, 75 for casual. I think it was around 80 for high fashion. For bikini, I did, like, 90. Same for, like, boudoir, like, 90. I didn't do, like, any topless or anything like back then because I was super, like, just new to everything. But now my prices are definitely a lot different. My prices now, I think I start at 100 an hour for casual. And then mainly what I get booked for, what I see coming through my Zelle screen a lot, is the 150 for the boudoir, which is kind of what I stick to, which is like I feel like that's a, like, typical rate for models in Arizona. And at that rate, I still feel, like, comfortable to do what I need to do and the positions that I need to do and, like, get my hair, nails, makeup done. Because being a model is so expensive. Like, think about it, how much you're waxing, how much nails cost, toes cost, hair cost, eyelashes. I go to the gym, like, every day to make sure I stay looking good. I take a bunch of freaking supplements. Those things are expensive. My supplements are, like, $100 a bottle. That stuff is, like, so expensive. So I feel like a lot gets invested into the modeling industry. So once I was ready to invest that much into it, that's when I started charging more for it. Because I was like, well, you're getting what you pay for at this point, and now I know how to pose. Like, I can whip out poses like no tomorrow, to the point where I'm helping other girls pose, which I love so much. I love more than modeling, is, like, being a director on set, like, ooh, put your leg here, do this. Because, like, a lot of girls are shy in front of the camera, and it's like, girl, if you're going to do this, like, you better be ready. Like, you're there, and you got to bring everything to the table. Every time, everywhere, every moment. dance in the middle of Walmart. Like, it will help. It will help. It will help. Like a little Tina twerk in the middle of the grocery aisle.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be ready for a photo shoot in public, like half naked.
Mm-hmm. So I see in your bio, it says you're a Playboy model, right?
Yeah, so I started working for Playboy as a creator to get out of working for Ojos because I had people hugging me a little too close to my booty cheeks and they weren't paying me. And I was like, So I started, Playboy has a platform where you can build up tiers as like a model. And so I had a few messages like in my DMs from Playboy where we were just like they were just hearting stuff and I was like, they're interested in me? I was like, wait, let me apply. I was like, let me see the like little small sign and let me apply. And I applied and I got in as a creator right away. So I was excited and then I started making money off of the platform really quick. But I realized it was more like a content thing. So like you can build, like right now I'm at a status where my next status I unlock more coverage with Playboy and stuff like that, and basically you can build down to a tier where you get a cover of like a magazine or something on Playboy, but that's like only if someone spent like $1 million in your account. Like every dollar is a point, so you kind of get money for content on Playboy. So that's kind of how that works, but I've just used it
What
for
type
modeling.
of content? Is like lingerie content?
It depends what you want to sell, because some girls, like before the platform got locked down these last few months, some girls were on those live streams like, you know, I don't judge, you know what I mean? Because my mom's probably somewhere doing the same. Anyways, but like, there's, you know, really pornographic content, you know what I mean? And me personally, no one's ever seen my vagina. Like, you know, if my dad saw that, I would scream, I would cry, Dad, I can't let you see. Like, that's weird. Like, that's so weird, because my dad's always told me, he's like, my dad's a whore. And my dad's like, if you're on Playboy, if you're on Pornhub, like, tell me, because I'm on there too often for me to see my daughter on there. So, like, certain things I just keep off limits. So with Playboy, I started uploading lingerie photos. I did a Valentine's Day photo shoot one time, and it got a little explicit, and they're like pasties, and I'm like, why would I let people see this for free on Instagram? Like, it's art, but like that's my whole body. Like, one of them, like, I was like pretty nude, and like I was from the side, but like I was pretty nude, and so I'm like, and then like I had another photographer I worked with that I did a blood shoot with, and he had an OnlyFans, and he did lives when he would work with people behind the scenes, if they were like, you know, and he would make money from that. And I'm like, you can really make money from that stuff, you know what I mean, besides what the photographers are paying you to book with. So I started just posting all that on there, and I started to like get in trouble from Instagram. I got banned from TikTok at like 25K because I said the word vulva a few times. I said vagina a few times, and I got like in a lot of trouble. And so they banned me, and then Instagram I started getting restrictions on too for like posting like a little explicitly, and it wasn't too bad, but I just keep it all on Playboy because they're not going to ban me, and they can unlock it, and a lot of it's free. Like for photo shoots, a lot of things I can't charge for, because if I were to charge for them, I would have to have certain contracts in place where the photographers would make a sum of money too. So like in order to save a lot of time and energy on that, I just post them for free. But it's not like you're not going to see my boobs for free, but like certain things you'll see that you wouldn't see on Instagram, just because it's like I'm not going to get in trouble on Playboy. I love Playboy though. I just go live on there. Playboy, like, well, it didn't retire me, but I haven't worked a 9 to 5 in 2 years. I kind of I just model, and then I live stream on Playboy. It takes up a lot of my time. But it's quite entertaining, and they pay me because I'm goofy and I'm silly. Sometimes I read them books. Sometimes, like, I'm just dancing around in my bedroom, cleaning the pool, tanning, playing video games. I play Call of Duty with them a lot. Or more like I force them to watch me. But it's okay. They love it.
You know, you being a Playboy model, you know, does that, you know, you do photography and stuff like that. Does that hinder your ability to get a boyfriend? Do guys approach you and be like, "No, I don't want you because you're in that type of work," or no?
I would think so, but I wouldn't know. I don't do the dating world. I don't. Emotional attachments are a lot for me. Like, I have 10 siblings, and my priority is bringing money home to my siblings and getting us out of the hood. Like, I don't care. Like, that's what I care about. So if it comes to a man saying something like that, like, I don't think I would. I feel like maybe it would be, I don't know. I don't really associate.
Do you want? I mean, eventually you want to have something serious with the guy.
Well, that's why I don't sell my kuka. Because, like, at least I'm not out here doing, like, all, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's still all the same thing under the same umbrella to me, honestly. But when it comes to love, I feel like in that aspect, I think it just takes an understanding person to understand there's a difference between my job and me and who I really am. Because at the end of the day, the person I portray is not who I am, in a sense. Like, it is, because I am very authentic to who I am and very unapologetic about that. But in the same sense, I'm a very family-oriented, like, domesticated person. Like, I really am. So I don't think, in the relationship world, I've had a few people be like, oh, I think I would get insecure. But, like, my ex, when I started modeling and all that stuff like that, he didn't care. He just let it be. Because, it's not, like, I'm not that type of, I don't text people back when they hit on me. I'm just not interested in that right now. I feel like when I'm older, definitely, like, I want to get married and, like, have, like, 20 kids and live on a farm and just be a housewife. Like, one day I'm just going to disappear off the internet probably and, you know, have my little family. But I don't know. I feel like everyone nowadays, like, has an OnlyFans low-key. Like,
Yeah, it's I actually saw the statistic from girls from the 18 to 24, 10% of them have OnlyFans now.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
a pretty wild stat.
Like, when I talk to guys, like, they just think it's cool. Like, they're just like, dude, like, you make that much money and you don't really show anything. And I'm like, yeah, like, they respect me and I respect them. Like, they invest into me if they feel like it's worth it to get close to me. Because, like, the people on Playboy, when they invest into me, it's like they really just get the chance to know me because I'm really a recluse. Like, I don't talk to people. I'm a hermit. Like, so that's their opportunity to be close to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. When it comes to men, they're just like, as long as you know how to differentiate it, you know what I mean? And I'm not, like, really rude or stuck up about it. And I don't try to trick people out. I end up being a sugar mama half the time. So that's just, you know what I mean? That's just that. I don't know.
How would you feel if, you know, you're taking a guy seriously and he subscribed to multiple OnlyFans? Would that be okay with you?
Oh, no. Just like if he told me if he was taking me seriously and he told me that he would take care of my whole life, I would not have that page. You know what I mean? Like, before I started my Playboy, I made sure anyone that was important to me in my life was okay with what was going on. Because at the end of the day, yeah, that's all cool. Money's all cool. Followers are all cool. Great. But that's not what I care about. What I care about is if my people are okay with what I'm doing. Now, if they have a problem with it, they can talk to me about it and they can let me know. You know what I mean? Like, if I were in a relationship, or to say if I am now, it would just be respect thing. You know what I mean? I feel like boundaries should always be set, and once you respect each other, it's fine as long as you're okay with that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What future goals and aspirations do you have towards your, like, yourself or your modeling career?
Whatever just makes me happy, honestly. I feel like my goal, I have a goal for runway, but I think I might be a little too short for that. So I have a goal for runway, which would be to walk for Robert Wu, which is one of my favorite designers. But I think that's all I can think of right now, is just really get into high fashion, like crazy artistic stuff. Like, instead of just like the same old different color bikini, like crazy, like travel the world because of modeling. I think that would be really cool. But either way, I think I just want to get into advocating and kind of switch the platform into avocation, because that's important to me.
So you're growing your modeling career. I know you're taking it seriously, but what are some of the cons that partake in this career? Because, you know, you actually just came here with a bodyguard. Do you, like, kind of fear for your safety sometimes, or you got stalkers?
I've had a few stalkers, yeah. That's why I moved across the country. The first time when I was 17. I had a really bad stalker incident one time where people were, like, shoulder checking me in public, whispering in my ears. Like, that person was probably, like, they probably were really powerful. I pray to God that he may not be living anymore because he was a little older. I pray. Oh, that's kind of scary to think about. Oof. I had a few incidents, and like I don't know what it is about me sometimes, but people just do not know how to freaking act right. Like I was in San Antonio without my big old scary bodyguard, and these people were trying to get my number, and I was like, I'm not interested. Like, no, thank you. Like, thank you, I appreciate it. And he was like, hey, yo, don't be a bitch. And I was like, excuse me. And he was like, I was talking to you, you little. He's like, well, you think you're too good? He's like, I'll pay you for your fucking phone number, you little stuck-up whore. And I was looking at him, and he was in a group full of guys, mind you. It's like 11 p.m. in San Antonio. I was with my friend. We were with the Mahalia Project on a group project, and we kind of separated, so it was me and one girl. And it was just crazy. And I was just like, I don't need your money. I was like, I probably make more money than you. And I just started laughing. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it was offensive, and I probably do. And so he got all mad, and he's like, hey, yo, like, come here, and, like, trying to, like, come chase me down. Mind you, he's with a woman that's pushing a stroller. She's pushing a stroller, and I think she was pregnant. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But I ran into the Walgreens, and he didn't come inside the Walgreens, and then my girlfriend's, like, little boo thing at the time came and picked us up. Thank God for him. But, like, you see how that happened, that situation? And I was trying to be respectful. Like, I'm so respectful. I used to be a little mean about it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I don't want to hurt men's feelings because I realize, like, from working with men, like, they may never talk to a woman again, and they may not have bad intention, but they may never talk to a woman again because you rejected them so rudely when they were just trying to pay you a compliment sometimes. So because of that, I usually am like, I'm just not interested, or I'm talking to someone right now or something else, you know what I mean? So I just have a lot of issues where that happens, so I like to have security. And then in the modeling industry, I was never allowed to shoot alone. My grandma wouldn't let me shoot alone, and my grandma runs me. My grandma is in charge of me. I love my grandma to death, and I respect her so much because she has kept me safe. And I will never not listen to her. So she told me if I wanted to model and if I wanted her approval, the one thing she cared about was my safety in this industry. And I needed to always have someone with me. So at first, my grandma was my security guard. And then I was working at Ojos, and I met this guy, and he was really cool and respectful. And I just asked him to start coming with me as my security guard to make me feel more safe instead of, like, renting somebody, because I rented somebody one time. And then the security guard ended up hitting on me, trying to be weird with me while we were alone. And so, yeah. I don't know. It's just, like, more safe. And then a lot of girls have told me, they're like, yeah, I've worked with this person, and he touched me weird. And I was like, I am so sorry you had that experience. I've never had that experience with him because I did have a security guard with me. And my security guard is a little scarier looking. So, like, I don't think maybe someone would feel as comfortable to do that if I were alone versus if I were with a security guard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be safe than sorry. And if people want to deny me because they don't want to work with me because they don't want my security guard there, I'm like, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Because if it's not a security guard, I'll bring a girlfriend. And it's like, why do you want me just alone? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, that, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that of somebody else. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just am really big on safety.
What about, what would your particular personality? Do you think you're a very humble girl, cocky, stuck up?
I don't know. I think I'm perceived in a lot of different ways. But personally, I think I'm a little too humble because I feel like people have to remind me sometimes. They're like, dude, but you can do these things. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, but I'm like, in my head, like the saying, like, I'm just a girl is really just like, I'm just a girl. Like, I came from like the hood, like nothing growing up as a kid. So kind of sometimes it's weird for me, like when people will put me on like a weird pedestal for me. Like and I don't even think so that should be that way though. Like I'm a small creator. I'm like, no. And people are like, you're going to be famous one. I love people like that. They're so sweet. They be hyping me up. But it's like, no, because I think I'm a little too shy to ever be cocky. You know what I mean? And like as a kid, I used to get called vain a lot. And as a girl, I feel like being a decent looking female, you get called stuck up and vain a lot. And like I've always tried so hard not to be that way because when I was younger, I've had other friends that talk to me and they're like, well, I don't look like you and I don't get the same treatment as you. And I don't think that's right. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel less than when you say certain things and you're like, oh, it's because I'm pretty. You know what I mean? Like, I would hate to make someone feel less than because I'm sitting there tooting my own horn. I'm not even that important. At the end of the day, we're all going to die. I'm going to get old. I have flesh that dies. So I feel like there's no reason to kind of like be on a high horse ever.
Mhm. I think from your, your childhood and the way you're raised and kind of like all the stuff you went through, I feel like that kind of humbled you in a way, because you've seen kind of like the bad side of things of life, and now
Yeah.
you're kind of experiencing the good side of it, and you're just enjoying it.
Yeah, the world definitely humbled me. The world for sure humbled me, for sure. She did
Yeah.
her best shit with that. The universe is like, anytime like maybe I am like a little like ooh, she's like, watch out, and I'm like, oh, let me pipe down. Let me find my place. Let me find my lane right now, universe. Right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like she works in my favor though. Yeah.
Any young girl or female that wants to really go into modeling, what advice would you give them to give them confidence, or any tips and pros and shit you would give them?
Just do it. You don't need to lose weight. You don't have to like change yourself in any way. I had a photographer when I was younger pick at my fat, and it was broke my heart. I was 18 years old. So if you're a young woman, models come in so many different shapes, sizes, ethnicity, backgrounds. Like I came from nothing, and I still feel like I can make it maybe one day if I tried hard enough. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I feel like just do it. I would say to any young woman, make sure you're safe. Don't go alone. You should never ever be going alone to anything. And I feel like you should always make sure you have protection. If you feel like it's a bad situation, don't be afraid to say no. You don't have to sleep with someone for an opportunity ever, ever, ever. You do not. It's not worth it then. It's not worth it at that point. So I think that would be my, oh, and contracts, please, please, please,
Yeah,
contracts
yeah,
are so
you're not the
important.
first model that said that on this podcast.
Yeah, it's like very, very important. Like contracts are so important so people don't use you and abuse you. I invested into a semi truck company last year and was running my like own authority with a partner, and bought a semi truck, and that really taught me contracts are so important, and legal work is so easy if you put the time into it. It's really not that complicated. It's really not. So yeah, I think that would be my advice. Just be smart and don't be in a rush to be in every opportunity. There will be something for you when it's right. And sometimes it's better just to stick to yourself, because as a young woman, you still have to worry about building yourself and your career. So, like, work hard, but at the same time, like, rest harder, honestly, because a lot of models do not take care of themselves. I watch them go on days where they're only eating like 2 granola bars a day. And I'm just like, girl, like, that's not healthy. Yeah,
Mhm.
so take care of your health too as a model.
Nice. Well, I was gonna ask you a question. I forgot. I was gonna ask you a really good question.
I be yapping. I'm so sorry. I be yapping.
No, no, it's fine.
Good question. That's about all I got for the modeling aspect for advice. Just be smart. Be smart. Don't let a man tell you what to do with your body as a photographer. And listen to other girls. Oh, always ask other girls for advice.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. If like any girl that wants advice from you, can they DM you and
Oh,
shit?
please do, yes. I have so many girls DMing me right now about birth control because I was just on my story talking about birth control methods. I love the girlies. That's my favorite part about modeling is the community I get to build with other females.
Mhm.
And just like how some girls in the industry can be a little, but most of them are really sweet and look out for each other.
Yeah. How do you handle hate and criticism? I'm sure you got guys or girls trying to shit on you, saying you're not pretty, or, your picture suck and shit like that. Does that bother you at all?
No, my worst enemy is my mama. You can't bother me. I sent my mom to jail when I was 12 years old. I do not care if you don't like me. Bless your soul with your one-sided beef, I guess, because I have no hate for anyone. Like maybe when I was younger, no, you know what? Because my mom told me at a young age, as much energy you put into hating someone is the same amount of energy you put into loving someone. And when you really think about that, do you want to put the same energy you put into loving someone into hating somebody? Is it really worth that? If you hate them, why are they worth so much to you? Like that makes no sense. So when it comes to that stuff with me, I'm like, shit, you can hate me if you want, but like I'm gonna pray that you don't one day so you can think about yourself. Because when I was going through insecurities in high school and when I was hating on people and would say things just to maybe make myself feel better, it never did. And it never made them feel better. So I don't know. I don't really see it. I've had like, oh, I had a female the other day say something, but I wasn't interested in her, man. And females know if you text me, I'll slit his tires with you, boo boo. And I'll probably send you the receipts too. Cause like, I'm a girl's. The girls don't even know. I love me some girlies, but so many girls do know. So many girls do know. I have their backs.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
I was a girl. I've been in a relationship with a whore. Wait, let me not. I don't know why you did me like that. But I've been in a relationship with a whore. I would never wish that on anybody else. Especially with my job. Like, I don't want anyone to think, like, oh, like, she's just an attention-seeking, like, she just wants to, like, sell her booty cheeks to my husband. Your husband should not be buying my booty cheek pictures. Why did you marry him? Like, why did you marry him? Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I deal with it too bad.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure having you on here. You know, people get to hear your little life story and a little more about yourself and stuff like that. I wish you best of luck in your modeling career. I hope you end up being super famous one day and super rich and shit like that. But yeah, this shit was on my podcast one time. But yeah, whenever we drop this video, everyone gets Jazzy some love and drop a comment and shit. Before we end today's podcast, guys, I want to give a huge shout out to our two main sponsors. We got Hookah Kings, the top rated hookah lounge in New Mexico, and Merino Media, quality content for your business and image. I'll see you guys next time on the Smart Talk.